What's good, y'all? What's good? Welcome to another live stream on the Passive Income Network. As you know, my name is C. Will, and today we are about to go in. Today's focus is AI meeting crypto, and then we will lock in on Algorand and the base ecosystem, some news that I think will be relevant to our discussion here today. So, as y'all join the stream, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you say what's up in the chat. Leave a comment. Give your thoughts on what we discuss in today's stream. So let's set the scenario. AI meeting crypto. I have been talking to y'all about this over the past week because I think it's a very important innovation. A lot of the liquidity that would be flowing into crypto right now has been flowing into AI. And we've seen NVIDIA being a semiconductor company. They have received a lot of attention over the past year or two. Palantir being a military AI has received a lot of attention, and the list goes on. Then we go look at platforms like Perplexity, platforms like ChatGPT, and obviously the main one, Anthropic, and their agent, their Claude. There we go. That's the name, Claude. So Anthropic's Claude. And now crypto has been in the mix. Okay. It's because you have a blockchain technology, the platform layer, you use the smart contracts, and then you plug that technology into a Claude, for example. And then that technology can now manage and use a crypto wallet. It can use stable coins, okay? And the list goes on. These learning language models work perfectly with blockchain. So we are seeing the intersection of crypto and AI. So before we dive in deeper and I show you guys some of the new information I have found and I wanted to share, we're going to talk about some breaking news and give y'all an update about Algorand, which I have been educating y'all on the Google X402's protocol. That Algorand is the first blockchain to adopt. So let's start with Algorand. We'll go through the Algorand news I want to share with y'all. Then we'll lean into some of the top platforms on base, and then we'll dive really deep into where AI connects to all of this. Now, let's get started. So we have a post by the Algorand Foundation. Algorand CEO Stacy Warden appeared on the Sujal show with the host there to discuss the latest on Algorand. And they're focusing a lot on India. So I think this will be good because a lot of Indians come through to the United States on their H-1B visa, and they work in technology. Even the CEO of Google is also Indian, and a lot of other companies like Microsoft. So let's hear what she has to say.
When I think about India specifically, and I think about the things that we're doing with Algorand in India, there are a couple that I would love to mention if I can. So it is on point in this. Are you familiar with Mandeshi? You must be familiar with Mandeshi. So when Mandeshi gives microloans to women, they run the successful ones kind of run out of room with Mandeshi. They have to then find better sources of financing that can finance them a bit more. But it's very hard to go from Mandeshi microloans to bank loans. It can take 2 or 3 months to even make sure that they have your information and your application and everything is okay. You have to sometimes go, I heard, with a Mandeshi representative. It takes them a long time. But these women are creditworthy and they have successful businesses. They want to grow their businesses. So taking advantage of the India stack, taking advantage of the DigiLocker, taking advantage of the blockchain, we have been able to take their credit scores from Mandeshi, put it in the DigiLocker. Then the banks, they could access the credit information, a token of it from the DigiLocker. And now we have, and we're still in beta. 500 women have been able to apply for loans, with more than 50% of them getting loans in days and weeks, not in months, So doesn't a story like that make you want to cry a little bit? For me, it makes me want to cry a little.
All right, so
when I think about
that's what we got here. So she's essentially breaking down some of the partnerships and deals that they're doing out in India. And when we talk about women. That's what she likes to focus on a lot, especially with some of these initiatives. And I also think that's great because women obviously lay the foundation of society with the building of families and children. And then now a lot of women are in the workforce nowadays. So that's some good update there about India. We're going to dive in deeper into some of the projects that they're building and what they've been working on over time. So stay tuned. Now, this next one here, this is very interesting. The largest energy supplier in Europe, this is the Enel Group, okay, has tokenized solar panels on the Algorand blockchain, expanding access to sustainable energy for residents of Italy. So now let's see what they have to say about this.
I know that there's a lot of discussion on this. Mark did a very good job of talking about some of the agentic commerce stuff. And how do you think about one, tokenization, and two, agentic commerce?
Okay, well, first of all, how many people, all you Californians, how many of you have solar panels on your roofs? Okay, why are you doing that? Why do you have to have a solar panel on your own roof? What if you live on the fourth floor of an apartment building? You can't put a solar panel on your roof. So what Enel did, which is the Italian electricity company, their biggest electricity company in Europe, they said, instead of sending solar people out to everybody's roof, having this guy climb up a ladder, have to have a big insurance policy on him, blah, 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 all of that. Why don't we take some empty fields that are sunny all the time? And, if you live in Ireland, you don't have to worry about it. We'll put solar panels all on these fields. We'll tokenize them on the Algorand blockchain, and you can own your piece of the solar panel in your rainy apartment in Ireland. And you can earn you can offset your electricity bill by your tiny piece of a tokenization of a solar panel. So this is like the really exciting stuff around tokenization, I think.
Okay, so what she's breaking down in this clip is solar panel technology and the credits being tokenized. So if you have a place like in California, you go to one of the deserts where it's blazing, direct sunlight, you build a solar farm, and then investors can invest in those credits and then reduce their electricity bill without having that technology on their roof. And as of right now, those credits that they were giving out for the Renewable Energy Act, I believe, for the last several years during COVID specifically, those credits have ended. So it's not even as tax efficient to put solar panels on your roof. So Algorand and Enel Group, especially out in Italy, have came up with another solution for investors, and which it would also help the whole energy crisis that a lot of places are facing. In China right now has been doing a great job with solar and renewable energy. So I think that's a great innovation, another use case on the Algorand blockchain there. So let's check this post out. This is an update for y'all as you join the stream. We're talking about the most recent updates from Algorand Foundation. So this one says, what if debt markets settled in seconds, not days? DASA, that's the Algorand token standard, brings programmable debt instruments to Algorand, atomic settlement, traceable life cycle events, compliance controls built in, and zero counterparty risk, DVP by design. See a demo. So this here, I'm trying to, let's see if we can understand this one. So we got a fixed coupon bond. So this is about tokenized bonds as the financial instrument. Let's play it. So they're scrolling through all the metadata, the principal payments, role management, account management, primary distribution, and the fund contract. DASA. So you're looking at the investor. That's how many units, 100 units. They're going to create a DVP offer. The offer has been created, waiting for the investor. Now they're going to refresh, and they're showing you what the other person sees on the other end. They're going to execute, open the contract, boom. Now you can see the data on the blockchain, and the bond has been settled in seconds. Okay, so that's what I just walked y'all through what I've seen there. That one is also interesting. It's because Algorand is basically showing us multiple use cases: tokenized energy credits, tokenized financial instruments, which is corporate bonds in this case, right? And then their work in India. These are multiple use cases that Algorand is built for. Now let's get to the juice of the one I think right now is the most hottest, and that's AI. Okay, so this is a post from the Algorand developers account. When did Algorand realize it was time to focus on agentic payments? So a side note here, all of the things that I just looked at, the work in India, right? Helping women with payments and funding for their businesses. Then you have financial instruments like corporate bonds, and then you have tokenized solar energy. This all can be connected via AI, agentic commerce here. Let's see it.
AI kind of took the industry by storm. Some people have been preparing. Some people knew it was the onset. What was that conversation like internally to be like, look, we have the capabilities to do this. We have the infrastructure for this.
So about a year ago, we had a developer retreat. This was in April. And at the time, agents were just starting to be able to do things. And Gabe, one of the DevRels on my team, who is amazing, sat down with some other guys, and they were like, let's see if we can get agents to autonomously purchase things on blockchain using an account that they control with no human in the loop.
Yeah.
And in a 4-day hacking period, they figured this out at the beginning of April last year, which suffice to say was ahead of the curve. And then everyone was just like, holy S, like this is ridiculous. And one thing led to another. And I think it just built this natural momentum. But it's really important that throughout this industry, people are paying attention to AI, playing around with the tools, and not even just the developer tools, right? Like the open claws of the world, they sort of like took the internet by storm the other day. You have to pay attention to this stuff also because it's not secure. If you don't know what you're doing, don't do it.
Stay safe.
Facts. He definitely was smart to bring up security. So basically what Algorand is saying, the developers is like, we were on this last year in April, okay? And in a hackathon, they figure some stuff out, right? Which puts them a little ahead of the curve. I've heard about OpenClaw. It's actually open, right? It's not as secure as a Claude type app, okay? Or ChatGPT. So you got to be careful with this. And so I think what Algorand is saying is like, hey, we have positioned ourselves in AI with the Google X402. We have built out tools. I've done a whole live stream on this. Go check out the Passive Income Network playlist, and then make sure y'all subscribe if you haven't. And we're going to keep talking about the intersection of crypto and AI. I think that is the next catalyst for the financial system, is autonomous agents. And Algorand, as a blockchain, the finality, the security, all of the tooling is great for real world applications. Now, we're going to move and talk about the base ecosystem, give you some updates on Moonwell in particular, and then we'll also dive into Aerodrome, Advantis, and we'll finish off with an AI deep dive with Banker. Okay, let's get to it. So this one here is about Aerodrome. Let's watch the clip.
That could be anything from a meme coin runner, or it could be like, hey, I'm like hedging against currency risk and I just want the best route to euros. Or it could be like a tokenized index fund or a tokenized coin stock or whatever it is. Isn't it about time that you didn't need to give a shit about where your tokens were or where the best liquidity on those tokens actually was? And you could just open a DEX front end. Or by the way, if you're an agent, because agents don't care about any of this, you could just see all of this. And you could say, hey, I want to take my $1,000, $2,000 in USDC, and I want that token. And the bridging and the gas and the aggregation of liquidity is all taken care of on the back end.
Okay. He's talking about an agent not caring where they're trading. They're just making it happen. Here's a quote. Isn't it about time you didn't need to worry about what chain your tokens were on or where the best liquidity actually was? I agree with that. I don't like bridging. Okay. So he says if you can take care of the bridging, the gas fees, the DEX aggregation, and especially have an agent just do it in the background, they're calling that unified liquidity layer coming through Ethereum. So again, another blockchain and platforms getting crypto more in line with artificial intelligence. Now let's go look at Moonwell and see what Moonwell has to say about some of their most recent innovations. Moonwell post, this is from Luke Youngblood talking on Hodl Up, right? About Hodl Up. On-chain finance clicks when you realize your assets can do more than just sit in the wallet. Bitcoin and Ethereum can become productive collateral. Stablecoins can be borrowed and deployed across DeFi, including DEXs. So let's talk about this. What if?
Hey, I can not only just hold crypto, I can not only just hold Ethereum or Bitcoin as an investor, but I can also leverage it. I can borrow against it, and I can use the tokens I borrow in DeFi. I can borrow stable coins, and I can use them in DeFi. I can become a market maker on a DEX. And that really was a big wake-up call for me. And I decided I wanted to kind of move into building decentralized applications on Ethereum.
So he said, we locking in on Ethereum, and this is the follow-up post here.
So first question is, I've heard Moonwell is launching on Ethereum mainnet. What's the progress on this, and will there be a WELL token on the network?
Yeah, great question. So first of all, the progress is really good. The contracts, the upgrades are code completed and have been through audit already. There were only low and medium findings, and we've remediated all those. We're going to do another audit of the governance proposal, the upgrade proposals itself, just to make double sure that everything is safe. And then, yes, to answer your question, the WELL token will be transferable to mainnet as part of that upgrade. And that will give, just like we have transferability between OP, mainnet, and base and Moonbeam, that will give our communities on all 4 networks the ability to, do all the things, stake, vote, participate in governance. It's an important part of the Moonwell protocol. We're one of the only, if not the only, lending protocol that has governance rights on all the networks. And I'm pretty proud of that capability that the team has built. And so that is a core part of the expansion to Ethereum mainnet, is bringing the WELL token to mainnet.
So first question is
that right here. There, he's talking about this is Luke Youngblood. He is talking about the move. Okay, let's see real quick. Talking about the move from Moonwell also expanding rather to Ethereum mainnet. So that's giving an area where there's way more liquidity. So you got Base, you have Optimism, you have Moonbeam, and then you have now Ethereum. And then if you link that or mix that with all the stuff Aerodrome is doing as well, you have a lot of opportunity and tools to build out AI. And speaking of the AI, let's get to the meat of this stream here. This is Banker. Shout out to the homie Crypto for Change. If y'all watch any of the stuff I did with the Next Block, you know who that is. But he's been talking to me about Banker for a while. So I want to do just a little throw this out there as I do more of my research. But Banker, you can launch a token, fund your agent, earn fees from every trade, fees pay for intelligence, fully automatic. So they have stuff going on here with Banker that I believe is a game changer, okay? So when we're looking at AI in general, right, people are building AI agents, having them trade in the blockchain. And then even if you were into stocks, you got a platform like Advantist, right, where you can go in and make trades, okay? And so you can trade, and this is just a early use case that I'm bringing my mind to, right? And then you have, let's go to the other one here, Polymarket, right? Polymarket. So people are trading AI using crypto, right? They're using betting platforms like Polymarket. They're using AI to trade stocks. People are trading, right? So that's one example of the trading bots. Then you have the intelligence bots that are buying and selling, moving information around, coding websites. This is a whole bunch of stuff happening. And USDC is one of those main proponents that could be used for this. So I'm just very excited, y'all. Y'all let me know what you think about this dive into crypto and the AI. So as I identified to y'all recently, keep your eyes on Algorand, right? The X402. Keep your eyes on Hedera and Stellar Lumens. They have both all three of them have integrated the X402 protocol here. Let me show y'all one more time. Protocol. They have all integrated it, okay? Let me show you real quick here. This is the Google search of it. Let me zoom in. So the X402 protocol is an open source GitHub Coinbase developed standard that enables internet native payments by activating the HTTP 402 payment required status code. AI agents and applications to pay for API access and digital services instantly using stable coins across various blockchains, bypassing traditional high friction payment methods. Essentially, this allows you to use stable coins for digital products. And then obviously, again, Google powering AI commerce with a new agent payments protocol that's agent to agent. So again, Google, right? You have Coinbase, and then all of those blockchains using stable coins. And as that man Ruel Paul said, who I like to watch on occasion talk about crypto, he says owning these tokens right now gives you a piece of the AI infrastructure as an investor as well. Okay. And I think that's something important to think about. And then again, Aerodrome, Moonwell, these DEXs, decentralized exchanges, these liquidity hubs, these borrowing and lending platforms, they're all getting in line with the AI supercycle. And again, I don't know which blockchain is going to lead, but we know the liquidity is on Solana, but not the best technology. We know liquidity is on Ethereum. It's not the best technology. Base is really good, a lot of liquidity. Algorand, lower liquidity, but great technology. Hedera, great technology. Stellar, great technology. So it is an arms race that I am excited for, and I'll be doing more experiments. I'll be looking around at the tools in this landscape and figuring out what's best that I should share with my supporters on this channel. Again, AI meets crypto. This was about Algorand and Base ecosystem news with an AI twist. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. I will catch you on the next live stream. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Leave any comments about what you liked in this video, and I'll get back to you on the next stream, y'all.
Passive income. Gold in my dental. Thank God for my mental. Investor fundamentals. Told my girl it was simple.